A couple of weekends ago, I spent 14 hours working. Now, this is not a sub story or anything like that. I know that there are so many people doing all kinds of different things. But for me, working 14 hours on my business on a weekend was quite unusual, but it was necessary. And I think that when we have these moments in life, in business, where you have that epiphany moment where suddenly it's so clear what you need to do, if there is a way that you can act whilst you are in that flow, I highly urge you to do it. Now, of course, I weighed up the pros and cons, and but I guess what happened, and I kept my previous website until this one was sort of up and running. But I think the thing is sometimes is we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be honest with ourselves in the moment, but we also have to be honest with ourselves in the long term. And for me, I wasn't building something, or I hadn't created something that was fully aligned to how I wanted to operate. Sorry, I'm talking in riddles here, but basically I had a website and it was great. The service, like I talk about it all the time. You can check out the links and the comparisons between the two platforms down below. But this piece of software that I was building on was incredible. The support was incredible. The capabilities of it, amazing. But the truth was I wasn't maximizing what it could offer because I wasn't a technological expert. I didn't have a huge team. And what I found was I was spending a lot of time behind the scenes working on stuff. And I really had a dawning this summer about simplification. And because I guess my portfolio career is quite complicated anyway, as in it has some quite different roles to it, I had this dawning that I needed simplicity. I don't want a huge team. I don't want to be always operating on launches. I want to keep things simple. I want to grow it organically and it feel really good. And also, whilst I am mainly the only person in my own team, I don't want to be waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, did that technology work? Or why did that happen? Or that's not my skill set. And so I woke up on that Saturday morning and I had one of those moments, and I don't know if it's my age. I don't know if it's life or stage of life. And I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning and I literally had to sit down with my journal and like big piece of paper and get it all out, because it almost felt like it had suddenly come to the surface and it needed to leave my body and be actioned. Unfortunately, Matt was around, so he could be flexible and, could be here with the children. But I literally sat on the same seat for 7 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday, and rebuilt it from the ground up. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is that, sorry, I thought I saw somebody I knew there. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is that sometimes we need to do this in business. Sometimes we need to pull everything back and have a good look and see what is going on. Now, not only in the day-to-day, like, is this working? Is this happening? Is this manageable? Is this useful? Is this valuable? But also really looking at it and being honest with how you are set up right now. Is that going to get you where you want to get to? And that could be 5 years in the future. That could be a month in the future. But are you setting yourself up for that journey? Almost like if you were going to go on a long hike and you put some high heels on. I mean, you might be able to do, 20 minutes, but you're probably not going to be able to hike around the world on a 6-month hike. And if that is your goal, you need to make some changes and adjustments right now in the beginning. And so this is a perfect opportunity to do this work. And once again, I'm never asking you to do anything that I haven't done myself. But here's what I want to say. If you can carve out that time, instead of just like sticking something on it the whole time, go, oh, it'll be fine, I'll deal with that later. If you can carve out of that time and go, no, I'm going to do this in a weekend. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it's like, for the next 3 nights, I am staying up till midnight. There were definitely times like that in my business, in my life, where I should have probably gone to bed, but I knew that if I could do something for a short period of time, I would reap the rewards. I tell you what, those 14 hours that I spent doing all of that, it's changed my business. And I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Excuse me. It's changed my business. It's changed my life. It's changed how I feel about my business. And because I felt like through that work, I got to know it again. And I became reconnected with it. And I became familiar with it again. And I spent some time with it. Almost like you would in a long-term relationship with a partner. You know, I know that sometimes we just need to go to the pub and have 2 glasses of wine, even if we just come home after that. But it's so great, that time, that focused time away from everything else. So if you've got big goals for the next few months, firstly, identify them. What do they look like? What do they feel like? What are you doing? What are you feeling? What's going on for you? And secondly, is your current situation, your current setup, are they going to get you there? And if not, it's time to do some work. And the work doesn't have to be hard. I actually really love those 7 hours each day. I listened to loads of podcasts. It was brilliant. It was a bit of peace and quiet. Lovely, lovely stuff. But maybe it is time to take another look and to check in and say, hey, what is going on here? And again, another question you can take away today is this the best way to do this? Have I missed a trick here? And one of the things that I do with clients is, if you've missed a trick, I can say, don't worry, I've got the trick here. Let's just have a little look at it, see what it's about, and go from there. Working alongside someone as you do that, because I'm going to ask you those questions that maybe you haven't asked yourself, maybe you haven't thought about, or maybe you're nervous about asking yourself. I always do this with kindness and compassion, etc. So you're going to be in safe hands. But if it's on your list and you've got some time that you can carve out short term, I tell you what, it's just going to pay off again and again and again, and it's going to feel brilliant. Lots of love. And the link is down below for some more details. Bye.